Okay, I've never done this before, so I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is May Parker, and I'm an aunt to a nephew, Peter. And yeah, I made a discovery today that kind of blew me away, and I don't know how to react to that. I just found out that my nephew happens to be Spider Man. Yeah, the web slinger that's been um, floating around New York. Yeah, okay, that doesn't sound great, but I know I wasn't exactly thrilled when I found out by accident, but that's just the way it goes. And if my husband was still alive, he would be supportive. Me, not so much. Well, okay, so Peter begged me not to ground him, and then he confessed that his best friend, Ned, knew about it, that Tony Stark recruited him to go to Germany to fight a civil war against Captain America. I know how that sounds. A 15, almost 16-year-old kid fighting Captain America. Not what I thought he was doing. I wasn't thrilled with that, but just the way the cookie crumbles when you have spider-like abilities, I guess. After everything that happened with Peter's homecoming dance and finding out that his girlfriend's dad was an ultimate bad guy, I can kind of understand why he didn't tell me about him being Spider-Man. So, and I should have pieced a lot of things together, and I realized that I didn't. And I said to him before, he was sneaking out of the house at night. He was a bit sketchy when he spoke about the Stark internship, when he wouldn't tell me exactly what he did. I know how that sounds. I know that I'm mad, and you can probably tell that. He's a good kid, and I think having Tony Stark in his life, though I don't exactly approve, is a good thing. So basically, if Iron Man is teaching my nephew what it means to be a hero, so be it. Hi again. Wow, just wow. It's been 5 years since I last recorded a, what can I call this, a vlog? Again, not really my thing. And yeah, I've been dead for 5 years. And yeah, I'm wearing the same thing in my previous one. It's coincidental, and I don't wear the same thing day in, day out, just so you know. Anyway, so I thought I would run through some things. In 2019, half the world was snapped out of existence by a being named Thanos. From the way Peter described it, it's a big purple alien with a really weird looking chin. Anyway, so in that 5 years that Peter and I were gone, a family was living in our apartment. And when I blipped back, yes, we're really calling it that, the family were very confused when I suddenly appeared in their living room. The wife thought I was a mistress. The grandma thought I was a ghost. It was a total mess. You should have heard the screams. I don't know who was more freaked out, them or me. Anyway, I'm just glad the news could explain it better than what I could. Yeah, I know, that doesn't make any sense. So, when I reunited with Peter, I was just glad he was okay. Turned out he was snapped, dusted, whatever, on some planet called Titan. Yeah, it sounds like the Greek Titans, but anyway, he got recruited to the Battle of Earth by some flying wizard looking guy, Mr. Strange, or whatever his name could be. Yeah, this superhero stuff is still very new to me. Tomorrow we're going to Tony's funeral, and it's going to be a really hard day for Peter, you know. Peter's really struggling as it is because he saw Tony die, and he's struggling to comprehend why someone like Tony would die during a battle just to save Earth. I don't know how he's going to get through this. Hi world. Not sure I can even say that. given today is Tony's funeral. Like I said in yesterday's video, it's going to be a really difficult day, especially for Peter. I never really approved of Tony, but Peter idolized him, so I guess I can just say that. And he wants to be there for the other Avengers that survived the battle, so I suppose I can give that to him. Like I said yesterday, Peter's still struggling. I've done everything I can to comfort him. Doesn't seem real. The last time I spoke to him was, I don't even remember now. I mean, I might have been dead for 5 years, but it feels like only yesterday I saw him, you know? I mean, he had a big heart, and I know that now. So, Peter's already lost a lot in his life. First his parents, then his Uncle Ben, and now to lose Tony. Where does that kid get a break? I just wish there was something I could do. Why is the universe so cruel? And we only just came back to life, but I don't even know what more I can do for him. So we're back home. It's post Tony's funeral, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was at the Stark Lake House, and it was really touching getting to see all of Tony's friends and those that admired him. I even got to meet Pepper Potts, Tony's wife, and their little girl, Morgan. God, Morgan is going to be so much like her father when she grows up. I feel so sorry for both of them, you know. Pepper has to raise her daughter alone, and that's the difficult thing. It reminds me of when Ben died. Me having to raise Peter by myself. At the time, it was hard to swallow, but now I know I'm not alone in being a single parent. Well, aunt, whatever. Anyway, who would have thought that the Tony Stark would have become a parent? I never would have thought that was possible, but it did. And from what I heard from a lot of those that knew Tony, he adored Morgan just as much as he adored Peter. And to think that he thought of my nephew as a son that he never had, that's rather nice, you know? From what Pepper told me, Tony really wanted Peter to carry on his legacy. And when I saw Peter walk into his room earlier, I don't know. I don't know if he can handle that. I mean, in a few years maybe, but right now, I don't know if that's possible. So I also found out from Happy that Happy is Tony's bodyguard slash best friend slash driver, whatever it is you want to call him. So the Stark internship was a real thing. It was also Peter's cover for why he was in Germany. And I guess that's okay by me now. So Peter mentioned to me a while ago that there was a Black Widow as well. Not a spider, a person. But I didn't see her at the funeral, and something tells me something very bad happened. Because there are a lot of sad faces. Big green guy that looked like he could wield a bow and arrow. Every time the name Natasha Romanoff came up, God, it's been one hell of 5 years, even if I wasn't here, or Peter. So, anyway, what really touched me was seeing Peter talk to Tony and Pepper's little girl. God, they're gonna have to mourn together, losing a father and a father figure. I just wish that all the pain didn't happen, and that Peter could just be a normal kid, but he's got spider abilities, and he's an Avenger who will have to live up to Tony's legacy, whether he likes it or not. Okay, I have a huge problem. Not me specifically, Peter. So I was sitting on the couch talking to Happy when a news report came across the news, right? And it was a report from some new internet news site, the dailybugle.net, and it showed a video of the guy that was helping Peter on the news before, Mysterio, whatever the news was calling him. Anyway, he was saying that Spider-Man wanted to be the new Iron Man. I know Peter. Peter wouldn't want to take over Tony. I know that for a certain. And Happy and I just looked at each other and just thought, you've got to be kidding. Some guy is accusing my nephew of murder. Okay, yeah, I know how that sounds. Something went down in Europe, and then as we were about to ring the authorities, I get a phone call from Ned, Peter's best friend, who is freaking out, can't get the words out, and then I get another phone call from MJ, Peter's girlfriend, and according to her, Peter's freaking out, not knowing what to do. She said she was able to get him away from all those people that were looking at him in his Spider-Man suit, but it gets worse. The Daily Bugle revealed who Spider-Man is. Yeah, so the whole world knows that Peter is Spider-Man. Yeah, that's going to be one hell of a thing that we're going to have to clean up. And I'm not sure whether Pepper's going to be able to spin it. So this post-blip world has just gotten way crazy.